What's holding you back from amazing self-esteem is actually super simple and easy to change. And I've got good news for you. By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what to change and how to change it, because you're not alone. 85% of adults report that self-esteem has held them back or is currently holding them back. And we know this, people with more self-esteem and more confidence achieve more. They get promoted more, they make more money, they are happier, and it's all available to you. Let's change the script of your self-esteem and help you feel better. Let's dive in. Hey, my name's Trish Blackwell. Welcome to my channel. Let's dive right in. Let's talk first about why it's so problematic that your self-esteem is struggling. And the reality is that you show up when you don't have belief in yourself, when you don't love who you are, when you find yourself always feeling a little awkward, insecure, where you find yourself looping and overthinking loops, wondering what people think or don't think about you, wondering if you're good enough, always second guessing yourself, leaning in on perfectionism and just trying your best and feeling exhausted. One, you're not alone, but also, doesn't it sound exhausting? You are living in such a way that is setting you up to be at a disadvantage. You are losing before you're even starting. And that's why I am so passionate about helping people transform their self-esteem. And so the problem is not that you have low self-esteem. The problem is that you are believing certain thoughts that are creating self-esteem. You see, your self-esteem is your overall thought about yourself. We call that in the coaching world your self-concept. So your self-concept is not as high and elevated. You don't feel good about yourself. And when we ever are talking about a feeling, it's because of a thought that we're thinking. So really, it's not that you have low self-esteem. It's not that you are doomed to have low self-esteem. It's just that your self-talk is negative, limited, and problematic. Well, okay, so great, right? Now, what do we do about it? This is where the good news comes in. You have a solution, and it's not to just all of a sudden have better self-esteem. It's to start getting curious. That's step number one. I want you to get curious about what it is that you're actually thinking. And when we start investigating what we're thinking, we can then start talking back to what we're thinking. Or we also call that sometimes reframing, telling yourself a different story, having a better narrative about what's going on the inside and about who you are. I like to call this narrative intelligence. But the ability to talk back to yourself or reframe is really the critical bridge between someone with low self-esteem to someone with amazing self-esteem. And we break that down by first being really curious about what is it that I'm saying to myself, because who you think you are is who you will become. So if you think that you're average, you're gonna stay and become average. If you think that no one likes you, you will create that as a result. What we think, we end up creating. And that's why I want you to know who you wanna be. And so a question that I have for you to start thinking about is, who are you becoming? Who am I becoming? That's a great way to start. Who am I becoming? And who do I want to be? And then what I want you to do is I want you to take 2 minutes when you're done watching this video, or you can pause the video, and I want you to write 5 things about yourself that are good. I want you to start writing 5 things, because we're going to start speaking about who we are and who we are becoming. Because when you start focusing your mind on who you're becoming and what you like about yourself, you will stop focusing on the things that you don't like, on how you're falling short, on how you're not doing enough, on how you're not smart enough, on how you're not skinny enough, on how you're not cool enough. Fill in the blank, because all of those things, the I'm not, the what ifs, the I'm not, I am in lack, that's creating low self-esteem. Those thoughts create the feeling of low self-esteem or low self-regard. And we can change our self-esteem by simply changing the language or the thoughts that we're saying. Now, how do you do it? Just like any language, it takes lots of practice. To get fluent in a new language, you've got to fumble your way into the new language and practice saying the new language. So it's okay if it feels super awkward at first to start saying, I am capable. I am God's creation. I am an incredible version of myself. I like being me. There are more than enough people who enjoy me. I am talented. I am filled with potential. Start saying those. I'm okay if it feels awkward, but I guarantee you when you start changing your language and changing your self-talk, your self-esteem will change and people will notice. Hey, here's the good news. Your self-esteem is not a fixed thing. It is not something you've lost. It is not something that's gonna take you months to rebuild. You will start when you change the language, change the way you think about yourself, change the way you talk to yourself, and everything will change. And I want to encourage you today that little by little, big things get done. There is a compound effect that happens, which means little effort done over and over will create big results. So what I'm asking you to do in changing your self-talk and what you say about yourself, it seems so small. But do not underestimate the power of small, because little by little, big things get done. And that's exactly what will happen. And the other good news here is that you don't have to do it on your own. I want to invite you to join me in my mentorship program. It's a month-to-month coaching program. We call it the most affordable place to get life coach on the internet, and it's called the College of Confidence. It is the go-to place to build your self-esteem from the ground up. I will teach you absolutely everything you need to know to build unshakable self-esteem and self-confidence. You can check it out at collegeofconfidence.com. Hey, if you enjoyed today's video, hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you and love to know who's watching. I have more great videos to come, and I just want to remind you of this. You have so much worthiness, so much to give, such inherent beauty and purpose in you. And I believe that you are a world changer and a difference maker. And I want you to speak that over yourself, because your self-esteem, it's there. We just need to shine a light. And we shine a light on it by remembering and reminding you of who you are. And I'm here to remind you that you are magnificent.